We're probably gonna do the finishing up on this one right here. I need to trim these guys down. You guys can see that still. This has been a few days already. Might have to do a little bit of a lifting and then cutting it so I won't, you know, scrape my actual trunk here. And this one, trim it a little bit to the side. The same with this one right here. We still need to cut this bad boy out. So we brought it back a couple days now. This time trimmed it out. Let's see how our kick protector did over 2-day period after we put that primer 94. It's like adhesive promoter, but it says it's the 94 primer. You can see here it's still kept intact. Wow, I'm impressed. Look, nice and sealed. See from here, you can see this pressed on. A few light lifts, but that's okay, that's normal. Tape probably from the old one. You can see there. This one did a really great job. Look at that. This one pretty much, and we weren't even gonna think that we can actually salvage this. We weren't gonna even reuse it, but I guess it was reusable. Thank you to the 94 adhesive primer. So that's taken care of. What we're going to do today is pretty much cut this out and let's go and finish the door sill. This is what I was going to share with you before I got lost there and not being able to explain it to you. So you can see the little, it says small P. You can see where the P is facing. Let me see if it's better here. Get a better angle here. There you go. Much more natural sunlight is always the best, right? You can see there how the P is angled this way. It's pretty much self-explanatory. It's very easy. So what it does is it curves around this way like this. So the P, you know, you can see here's like a P, right? See what I'm talking about? It look like a P. See that? Like it's like a P, right? So the P is pressed against this way and has a little, where its little tail end flaps outward. So it creates that little cushion, just like this guy right here. Same thing we can do there. This was great about these instructions. They're pretty self-explanatory, very simple to follow. Not sure why this is a little bit markings here. Might be from pressing on this guy here a little bit. It's weird. Knows every detail, anything that happens to my car. I never see this before. Might be because it's so pressed hard on this guy right here, maybe. It's okay as long as it doesn't rip. It's fine. It puts pressure, but yeah, we shouldn't have any more dust. So far in 2 days, well, I hadn't driven it since I pulled it in last night. The night that we came from Southern California, Santa Clarita, to get those delicious Korean tacos. So I haven't really used the car since, but you can see here there's still some dirt here, but that might be from, you know, the time that was there already. But there's isn't dirt in here. Normally there's dirt piled up here. So if this does well, like the flap guard, and you know what, another thing is I noticed that it actually was quieter. The car was quieter. I think the trunk has to do with a lot of vibration. So when air gets in there, it swirls in. I think this little piece alone did a lot more than this band here ever did. You know, this little band here. You know, I put this under must, but I just did it for must just to keep all the little dirt out of the crits area. But for noise reduction, I don't know if it did anything for me, to be honest with you. You know, but for sure this one did. It felt like the car was more quieter just by this little simple hood liner right here. I mean, this little hood sealant thing here. It's amazing. I thought like, wow, it worked. I didn't expect it for it to reduce the noise. I expected for it not to have dirt in, but it actually reduced the sound. I guess the wind picks up on it and maybe does something right here that causes it to a little vibrate. So when it seals it like this right here, I guess it seals the wind from having to go in there and, you know, making that kind of swerving noise. I know before they had an issue with the trunk on the, like, I guess you could say 2018 model and older, 2018 Model 3. They replaced that. You have to put, usually you have to put acoustics, cushion to be able to dampen the noise, right? But now you don't have that because it's blocked off, so you don't have to worry about this sound effect. But yeah, the noise were coming from here, I guess, sometimes too. So anyway, that was it. So we're gonna look at some of the instructions here. I mean, I'm glad they got pictures and everything. This seems to be like stapled together, so I guess these are together. Oh, by the way, if you guys stay around for this video, I'm gonna do a free giveaway. So I'm gonna, you guys probably remember this box here. If some of you might watch my previous video, know what's in it. But I'm gonna ask you a couple questions during the video. So you have to pretty much stick around throughout the video in order to get the questions first, and then find out what's in this box to know exactly what I'm giving away for free. So all shipping and everything paid for. I'll direct message you if you guys are the winner. I'll expect you to post your answers in the comment of this video description below. I never did it before, so we'll find out how that does. Hopefully people are paying attention to the video. So we got the Model Z for pay iller. So I'm just kind of going along. This one seems to be very small. So I'm gonna go by the pictures. I don't have any more primer heat, but I think if you guys clean it really well with some ibuprofen alcohol, I don't know how to pronounce it, isopropyl, you know, 70%, that's what I use right here, these pads. Actually, I got these from the doctor's office because I couldn't order them from Amazon. But I think the link in the description below, I think they're available now. Let's see here. Okay, so this is the door. That's pretty self-explanatory. See, it tells you exactly where the P should be facing. I think a lot of people don't know, and they face it the opposite direction. They curvature the P, and they bring this little guy in toward the, you know, toward inside, versus facing, you know, I mean, outside the door edge. So that's one key into don't. Oh, this must be the short one they're talking about. And this one here is pillar A. I'm still looking for pillar B here, but this is pillar A. It tells you right there, pillar A. This is pillar P. So this must be this guy right here, back door. I guess all this is here for pillar P. So they're pretty much nicely labeled. You know, pretty self-explanatory, very simple, very easy. I mean, we did this just by looking at it briefly. So this one's pillar A. Oh, there it is. There's pillar A here. You just match it right here where it says pillar A. You can't see it because it's kind of blended into the font color. But it's pillar A right there. You can see a light A visibility. So that one's pillar A. Let's see what else we got. So this is pillar D, pillar P and D. P and D, I think these are stick together. Yep, these were the one that we're questioning what they were. So we'll put the instructions on the bottom, and we'll put a source right here in the bottom. Now the hood one's gonna be a little bit tricky for me because I got PPF on there right now. And I wanna make sure it actually covers half PPF and half the other one, just to make sure it's still nice. And this one here is pretty much model Big D. Model, I guess they call it just reference a Big D. They don't use multiple alphabet, they just call it big or small. So this is Big D. All this right here is a hood liner. We're gonna do a dry fit before we actually decide to cut it or even peel the tape. The reason why is you want to make sure that you have enough rubber sealant here to actually cover the area before you actually, you know, rip out or clean out your old area and stuff like that. So it's going to be a little bit. We're going to take our time to do it nicely. And this must be the small one we were looking for, pillar Z. And this is what we're questioning here. So this is the B pillar one, huh? This is the one behind it. It's weird because I guess not all of them are created equally, because the last one I got, it was actually straight up to the whole thing. But this one goes in the very bottom, which is actually perfect because the reason why is this one doesn't have it. Here, I'll show you. Let me get this open. Get this one open. If you look at this one, see, the old one, well, I'm not sure this is the old one or the newer one, but all I know is this one came out like this style, right? Now what this one's saying is it wants you to create it where, if you look at it, pretty easy right here to see what they're talking about. I kind of like it because they take just a big huge photo, you know, instead of boring you with a whole bunch of description and text. I mean, people are visual, they can pretty much get an eyeball of it. There we go. Let me just do this. See, if you look at right here, it's saying, see these two bolts here? I assume it's the bottom one here. As you can see how it curves, it goes in there underneath. So it's perfect. If that's the case, then I would go a little bit partial here and then coming back in here. So it really covers this bottom area here where this one fit. This one only gave me to the top, so I'm glad I actually got this one, because this one right here, and then we'll start taking off our tape too. We can get to some of the more adhesive as well in addition. It'll serve as a both purpose. We'll be able to get this through. So we'll cover curvature right here, and we'll come through and we'll come up right here. So that's pretty nifty. All right, now we know where this one's at. We can just keep this here, I guess. Okay, let's go and take a look at the other ones here. We did the small P for trunk already, and we're gonna cut that out. So let's get started, shall we? We're gonna go ahead and get our, I could use the bigger scissors before I actually lay it on there. It'd probably be better to use like a little bit more precision, smaller scissors, which I have both here. Could go with this one here, if, you know, for the ones that we haven't cut yet. Or maybe I'll just go with this one. A little bit more like nose hair scissors, I call them. So we're gonna try to do that. We're gonna trim it nicely. So here we go. This one right here is first. And actually, you know, it's a good thing I actually waited for it to recede, because if you look at it, it's receding on its own a little bit. It's not as much as we thought it was before. So we just gotta take a little small snippet to it. So I'm gonna probably need both my hands free to be able to do a nice job. So let me see if I can lay this tripod. I like this tripod because it flexes. That way you guys can see what I'm doing. Cutting it here. Let me see if I can turn it this way instead. Put 2 feet in the bottom. There we go. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pinch it, and then I'm gonna try to snap it. Just kind of press it down a little bit. That way I get, you know, both layers compact. I don't really want to do that much actually. There we go. That was it. A little booger. See here. Just a small little snippet. That's all. That's it. Just a small little snippet like this right here. That's all I was aiming for. Not a lot. That was easy. And it looks good now. The adhesive's not getting in the way. In fact, I can press a little bit more to make sure that there we go. You can see from here. That no longer in the way. I also was able to make sure it doesn't take too much of the other side as well. All right, now this part right here. Same thing here. We're just gonna snip it. So if I can hold you guys in my arm here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is just snip it. Press it a little bit, kind of get a feel for where it's at. Just try to cut it straight parallel. See that? Perfect. A perfect cut right there. That's what we're aiming for. Perfect pee out. And then you can see from this side. There, just peel it off. Give it a good press again just to make sure. You know, you don't want the adhesive to be exposed too much, because when it gets dirt caught into it, it's just gonna have a, you know, I mean, it's just gonna bring dirt trap. That's all it is. That's what we're trying to avoid. There we go. Very nice. Want the edge of it to grip. You can see these things are stretchable, but you don't really want to stretch it. You want to actually have it relax where it should be, and then come back for it. So I'm really pleased. So this one's all set. This one's done. I know I'm gonna take forever because I like to do things like really perfect. So there we go. We got these 2 little pieces now. The other one was a little small one. There you go. So that was it. That was the one I just trimmed from these guys here. See there? A little bit better with precision cut. Okay, now for this one here, do the same thing. Let me see if I can lay my camera here. Get you guys in a straight shot. From the top, it might be harder to see, but there you go. You guys see this right here? This is the next one. See, this one's almost flushing in, but not entirely yet. I cut with my right hand. Can't cut with my left, so that's why I'm kind of holding it a little bit different. Pressing it with my left hand and cutting it with my right. I'm gonna take a little snippet to it. Make sure it's clear away from your PPF and also your trunk liner. There you go. Almost like a little snippet, not even a lot. I believe that will work. Maybe it's a little bit more to your there we go. All right, so we got that there, nice. And our last one here. I could lower it a little bit, but take a snippet to this one. Just kind of flex it back a little bit. Do you want to create some pressure? And we want to cut it straight if possible. Or cut it right where it curves. Cuts too easy. Cuts like butter. Not bad. You can see here we got a little bit more of the cushion out than the adhesive. I don't know why it does that. So that's fine. Just curve the adhesive in there, or just like put your finger in there. Just make sure it's not sticky anymore. That was good. We'll probably have to use some Goo Gone to actually get some of the old adhesive off for the trunk liner. I mean for the front liner, because there's already Goo Gone in there. I already cleaned the doors out, so these guys are ready. So I'll put all these little pieces here. You guys can see what we did for. Okay, let's go and get ready. We could do the front first. I mean, if that's what's more convenient for us, we could try to tackle that one and see how that one goes. It looks like the same as the other one on there right now. So let me go ahead and do this. You want to get our alcohol pad. I got several here. The reason why we got to clean the surface. Not only that though, we have to remove the other one, so I'll have to use some Goo Gone. I'll probably have to use some Goo Gone to get the other ones off. So let me get an alcohol pad. I'll bring this one. Maybe this will help us scrape some of the old stuff one out. We'll find out. So we'll get started on. That's good that, you know, the other trunk liners, it has it wrapped around, and I tried that one before. I kid you not, it does not actually stay. So a lot of people sell you the ones that actually go in like this, and then they come around like that, and they come out. And even when you make slits on there, it looks ugly, because one thing is, it doesn't look like it's made for it. Where this, on the other hand, you know, I could have cut a little bit better, you know, just a micro better. But other than that, it looks almost factory, you know what I mean? It looks like it's made for it, just like it was a flap here. So, just like our mud flap, it's probably made for the car. It's a bit more efficient. Not necessary, but more efficient. I mean, as far as you not having to wash it. So anyway, this one actually I thought was just mainly just to be protecting the dirt, but I really believe that it actually created a more quieter sound driving experience, more comfortable, because of the fact the wind can get in and whistle the trunk like it probably previously did before. So I'm really pleased on that one. Time to clean it up a little bit, and then we can cut it. We'll see. Okay. Let's see what we have. Yeah, I'll start taking off all the stickers and stuff like that. I think these tapes are pretty much to train my PPF to not lift anymore, but I think they're about to. You can see here, only reason I hesitate to do it is because of this guy right here. Look how nasty that stuff is. So I'll have to use some Goo Gone. There he goes. That's the old one anyway. But we're gonna do a dry fit first to make sure we got enough material. See what's great about this one? This one goes all the way to the very bottom. You can see there. And it just goes all the way to the very bottom. So that's what's great about it. Well, this on the other hand doesn't. So They try to cut the PPF for me so it won't lift, because what happens when you have PPF, this thing flexes in, it pushes them onto the PPF and actually causes a lift. So that's what happens in these corners right here. You can see that's why they trim it so much. Had I removed this before they put the PPF, they could have gave a little bit more, like maybe a good centimeter wrap, and then I could have came back with this one on top of it. But so far they did an excellent job. I think I could probably go ahead and take this off and then cover it again with the ones that we have. We're gonna go ahead and go all around it. So, yep, I'll go and get that taken care of right now. And then what I'm gonna do is clean some Goo Gone on it. But let's go and do a dry fit like we said and see how much it actually has. I'm sure they give you enough to cover it. I'd rather have it go all the way from the edge of the hinge all the way to really much deep down in here like this, because this one gave us a lot extra slack, which is perfect. So I'm hoping this does the same for us. So we'll find out. Find out right now. Not sure the quality of this one is any better. It feels the same to me. Kind of been cooped up at home for a couple days. Kind of nice to be able to get out and do something, you know. Keep active. I think you'll get sick from just being home and depressed. So this one seems a little bit, I'm not sure, maybe just this been worked in for a little bit, but this seems a little bit more fatter. There we go. So what this do, we'll have the material. Probably want to get the material to peek out a little bit like this, so that way it doesn't rub on it. Sort of reinforces it, sort of. So we'll find out. So let's do this right now. We'll take a measurement. We'll just press it in here like this. Now this is 1 inch, right? We'll go, oh, it's gonna be a little bit more of a challenge. In fact, I should get some painter's tape. Okay, there we go. I got about 1 inch in here. Wow, it looked like they gave us enough, almost perfect actually. So let me go and get some paint. There we go. That's fine. We already kind of idea where they're really at right now, right? So no need to worry. Actually, they do. The pictures show, like, you know, it doesn't recommend for us to go all the way down there, but they do give us enough here where we can actually. Yeah, it looked like it does. It gives us enough for it to go all the way to the very edge, so this is perfect. All right, so that's good. That means we can remove this old stuff here, put the new one on, and then we'll see how much more better quality is going to be in helping us. Hopefully this thing will grip, but not only that though, this little rubber here will support this little ledge here for it to not lift so easily. So yeah, first things first is to remove this gunk out. So look at that's right here. First thing to do is just remove it. Gotta be really careful. Oh wow, this is good. It's clean. Less Goo Gone, because we'll have to use Goo Gone to clean out the current old adhesive. But what's great about adhesive is you can use this like gum, right? It takes gum to remove gum sometimes, so you can just do it like this. There, look at this. This has the majority. And what's horrible is that they're already drying up. If they're drying up like this, we're gonna have to use like a plastic scraping tool. But other than that, it looks like it's not too bad. Yeah. Oh yeah. Wow, this is just still pretty darn good though. Unfortunately, that way you guys can see how I install it. Yes. Okay. There you go. Nice and clean out of there. Yep, see that? This is a little bit harder gunk. Whoa. We'll do a much more cleaner job. Yeah, it's because when these things press on here and then you got your PPF, it's just it starts rubbing it back and forth, and then that's why it starts peeling off the PPF. It's like your finger with a glove or something rubbing it daily. It starts getting weaker. There we go. That wasn't bad, right? A little PPF here. I might want to trim it myself if I can get a hold of it. Alright, so this one right here we can probably wind up and put in the bag for whatever reason. I guess we're not going to use it no more, but it's probably not good to use anymore. See if I can get it to a nice little sticky. It's creating a little pattern on its own here. Very cool. This is supposed to protect the water sealant from getting into your trunk, but I really didn't do much on this one here. Not sure because this one's not like thick enough compared to these guys. Let's see how they are. This one seems a little bit more better quality. Seems like a little bit thicker, and it seems a little bit higher too, by the way, if you look at it. See if I can get a non-compressed one. See how it sits. Slightly a little bit higher and possibly a little bit wider as well. This one's a little bit more thinner. Again, all these items here, they're going to be in the description below. The ones that I favor, the one that I think are much more, I don't go by price, I go by the quality. So they could be more expensive or they could be less expensive, but I want to make sure I give you guys the best recommendation, what I actually use in my own car, because I wouldn't put things that are faulty. Alright, so there you go. That one's that. That one's the old Frunk trunk liner. Put this guy back in his little gray area here. Hopefully he goes in. Look at that, he goes in. Not bad at all, actually. Okay, next one we're going to do is we're going to have to clean out this gunk here. You can see here. Oh, by the way, this is the old, let's go and peel this guy off so you guys can see just training the PPF for a little scratch ain't going to hurt because this PPF materials has like a layer of polyurethane or something. It's self-healing. So light scratches and marring, like washes and stuff, doesn't really hurt these things. Still want to be careful though. There we go. See that? It stayed. This was the one that actually I was worried lifted so much, but no more. It's actually stayed. So that was good. It was trained for almost a good, I think, a month now. I had it on there. So we're going to start taking all these little bits and pieces off that I trained, including, I guess, one of the side doors here. You remembered? That one's been on there a while too. So this one here we're going to take off when we actually do our door seals here on this side. Again, it was just the PPF was lifting slightly a little bit right here. But once we put our sealed on there, it might cover or it might not, but still it's not going to rub it, I guess. So you can see this is already cleaned off from the old door seal. And it's going to have a nicer, quieter close to it, but I'll let you know how the noise reduction is. But I think probably if I remembered it, it did help a little bit, but not a lot. But I think with the quality of these material, this one here, I think it's going to make a much more better difference, because I can already tell just with that one change they did on the trunk liner on the side, it made a huge difference as far as dampening the noise, the wind flowing into the trunk, I guess. I didn't think it would, actually. I just thought it was just to protect dust, but it actually helped quiet the car, actually, when you're driving high speed. So it worked for me. Going up the grapevine, I couldn't hear anything. It was like a really different sound compared to when I got the grapevine. It might be the elevation too, I don't know, but I think it was quiet throughout the whole ride after I installed it. So I know this definitely made a difference. So this is pretty much it. We just, either way, it doesn't really matter. We're gonna start, but I definitely want to clean this guy out first. So I'm gonna try not to use any Goo Gone because I don't want to get Goo Gone inside my PPF. Because if that's the case, what it's gonna do is gonna lift off my other stuff that I don't want. So, oh, I should say the edges here to get these guys sticked out a little bit. So let me do this. Like I said again, it takes gum to get gum out, right? So let's go ahead and use his own stickiness as a tool. Well, much as we can anyway. I don't think we'll get much, but let's see if we can get a cleaner one that's not used a lot. It's like a sticky mouse trap. But so far it did pretty good for the most part. So for a few areas here. This is probably where we're gonna use our plastic scraper. I recommend using a plastic scraper. Yep, Goo Gone will help. But the thing about Goo Gone is when you get near the PPF, that's when you have some concerns. There you go, lighten it up a little bit for you guys. See that? Just kind of scrape much as you can. They're just rubbery. A little Goo Gone usually will take care of it. DW40 actually will do it too, actually, surprisingly. DW40 will work too. But again, I don't want that oil residue left behind. So that's why I'm trying not to use the chemical. I'm just trying to scrape much as I can because I'm going to go around it with some alcohol and just take care of it that way. Yeah, it looks like it's coming off. It's no worry. Yeah, don't use any metal razor blade or anything like that. Definitely don't want it to kill your paint, for one thing. Yeah, this is probably the worser one. I think that's it, really. The worstest one. I think all of it's pretty darn clean. I mean, you know, just a few light scrapes here like this should take most of it out already. Yeah, I probably don't want to use Goo Gone because then again I have to clean all the oil back, and that's what our alcohol rub is for. It's pretty much remove the Goo Gone oil so it can actually stick a little bit better. So I don't want to put any more oil on it if I don't have to. Goo Gone just makes the surface slippery, so your gunk, once it gets caught onto the Goo Gone, it just makes it slips off easier. And it'll work. I just didn't want to do it that way. Almost there. Nice. Looks like a splat of mucus, huh? Dried up. But it's getting there. Yep, everything good. Doesn't come easy. Alright, so let's see if I can use this tape here. Tape some of it off. Alright, none of that. Alright, let's see if I can use some of his own sticky again. Now I'll get a little bit. I'm thinking. Okay. That's not coming off anytime soon. Again, I just don't want to expose it to Goo Gone, so I'll have to settle for scraping a little bit harder and taking my time. I think it's just like your finger. You can mostly rub some of it off already. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there we go. Now it'd probably be better with a towel. That way, just in case it gets to a sharp edge, you won't be in a bad bind. So get some Scott's towel here, shop towel. Again, all these items here you can find in the description below. Just need a little bit. Give it a good rub. There we go, look at that. Nice and clean. Almost there. The better you clear it out from the previous gunk and oils and stuff, the better it'll stick the second round. That's what we're trying to do. without introducing it to any more gunk. This one has a lot of gunk in the very bottom. It's not only that, it's in the corner, so it's even harder to get to. It doesn't mean we can't do it, but we will. Yeah, for the most part. See that? It's already gone. Not bad. See that? Nice and clean. It still has a little bit of that adhesive residue, which we don't want, because we're about to put some new ones on there. So we're just gonna do our best we can, just give it some more rub. Then we're gonna take an alcohol wipe and rub it all around. Just this lower area here. This one's even worser. It's a little bit rubbed, should all come off. A little frosty there. Look like, you know, dried sap, you can say. Get my handheld vacuum a little bit and just kind of vacuum all the little droppings on the floor. Alright, so this one's going to have us scrape a little bit some more. Just want to be careful, don't want to rub your PPF off. Okay. Nice. It's coming. It's coming along the mountain when she comes. Yeah, it was like all over. I'll probably use Goo Gone, but in this case, such a small area, I'm not going to use Goo Gone. I'll show you what Goo Gone is. Like an oil base to be able to help you remove some of your stubborn gunk. Let's see if I have it here somewhere maybe. Oh, here's some alcohol. It's 50% though. We're going to use the other one. There you go. Goo Gone spray adhesive. I'll put a little bit so show you guys how potent this stuff is and how easy it is to rub it. I just, like I said again, I didn't want to introduce it to oil, so just spray on this towel a little bit. Let it sit in, I guess. So here's the bottom. Let it siphon, I guess. Alright. Just my luck, like everything else. It doesn't want to open up when I need it. Off. It's just off and on, really. Maybe build some pressure. I'm not. Alright. Alright, so let's open this guy up real quick. We'll get some off the traditional way. Just like we did our baby shampoo, right? Oh, that's it. Just a little bit. This one's the spray kind. They got the one, I believe it might be a gel base also. It allows it to stick a little bit longer. But if you ever need to take off adhesive, it smells like an orange citrus. So watch, you'll see it a little bit here. Let me lighten it up. So I got my Goo Gone in the rag. See a little bit of wetness. What it does is just a little citrus oil base. Okay. And you still have to do some rubbing. Actually, it makes it a little bit more slipperier. So once you get it off, it goes onto the oil base and it just stays. In fact, you might still need your scraper there. So you could take your scraper, soaked up your rag of Goo Gone. There we go. We'll use a small side. So we take a scraper, a little bit of the Goo Gone on the rag. You can already smell it already. See that? It makes it so much easier. It comes off like it was like nothing. It comes off like it was cake. I mean, not cake. It comes off like it was, like, say for instance, something flakes off very easily. Let's say it comes off like it was corn flakes. That's all I can say. There's no hard, and it won't allow it to stick. Now the thing about it is I had to clean that Goo Gone back off because I had to prepare to get all that oil from that Goo Gone, because Goo Gone is like almost like a citrus oil base. That's all it is. But it does make it a little bit easier to clean up. There we go. As long as it doesn't get underneath the film, it shouldn't cause any lifting. But if it does, then you're gonna have a problem. It's gonna get in that PPF. Is gonna cause all kinds of lifting issue. All right, see that little nasty adhesive stain? I'll take a little bit, whatever left of my Goo Gone here. Just go back and trace it. But yeah, it just makes the job a little bit faster. But you're gonna have to do a little bit more as far as cleaning off all that Goo Gone oil. There we go. See that? Gone. Much more cleaner than without it, actually. The Goo Gone did a really great job as far as cleaning it goes. Might be have a little bit, see that some of this little residue still here. Take a little bit, just a little bit is all is needed. You don't need a lot because it's not really a lot of surface area here. Just kind of use your fingernails if you have one, or again go with the scraper tool. And just give it a good rub off, and it comes right off. So it's coming right off. There it is, very neat. Especially when you need to prepare. Just make sure you clean it really well with some rubbing alcohol and get all that oil from the Goo Gone off of there, so your new adhesive can stick nice and good. But we're almost there. All right. Just cleaning it all up. There we go, scraping whatever little bits of last pieces moment. Look at this guy right here. Almost coming all off, see? You couldn't do that if you didn't have Goo Gone on there. You'd be scraping the heck out of the paint. You'd be causing a lot of marring. You might not scrape the paint off because it still has some clear coat, but it would make a lot your job harder. All right. This area here is probably what I'm going to be concerned about. When I get to that spot, I'll just close the hood a little bit. That way I can focus on. A lot of people, they have a really gunk of adhesive. They'll soak this whole rag with Goo Gone and they'll leave it there just for it to cure. Or if it's in that place, I kid you not, the next day, that adhesive just comes off like butter. It just melts off. But we don't need to apply that application in this instance here. Yep, that's how you remove pretty much gunk from the leftover residue from your adhesive. So, yep, there we go. Now we're gonna go ahead and just close this hood because I need to actually get on the corners there. So that corner right here, gonna go ahead, I believe we could probably peel it off. Actually, you know what, we can leave this for right now. I'm not gonna make it interfere. I just want to make sure because I'm trying to clean the corners. All right, great. So let's go into alcohol then, because we're ready to actually prepare it now. We might have to even go with 2 of them. Okay, so here we go. I'll just put a few in my pockets. Okay, so let's go and get the door open, or the frunk open again. And this one's gonna be a little differently because I need to actually make sure that the adhesive stay down. I would love for the adhesive to actually go half and half, but unfortunately, look at the way it's made. If the adhesive actually doesn't go, all the way fully extended like I would love it to. So I'm gonna have to work with what I got. But my idea is to get this guy really in the edge. Now this will be all the way in the edge, but I'm just showing you guys an example where I'm gonna try to line this guy up really above like this. That way when this closes, this gives a little supporting adhesive, I guess. So we'll find out. I mean, I would love for it to come on to the film like this a little bit, but I don't think that's a possibility. It probably might not even look right. So we'll see. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on now, but first of all, we're gonna clean out that goo gone, that oil base, because for one thing, it will never make this thing stick if we leave it allowed to stay on there. Oh, alcohol. There we go. Clean it with a good alcohol rub. Get all that oil off of here. Use the other side if you need to. The more you clean this thoroughly, the better. Because then the alcohol. All right. Doing scraping at the same time, actually. Any leftover, you know, like this guy right here. Any leftover remaining gunk gets wiped out. Yeah, you don't want all this residue stuff in your new adhesive bond. All right, see that? A lot of gunk. Do one more for the other half. I think that should do it. Then maybe I'll do a third one just to make sure all that goo gone oil is evaporated out of there. All right. Yeah, this has a lot more lubricant. Also a good way to clean your surface, to apply PPF again if you need to. They did a good job of cutting this so it doesn't rub on the PPF anymore. So my hat goes off to these guys here. Protective film solution. Very nice. Okay. Got that clean. I'll just probably do one more pass with my alcohol wipe. And then I'm gonna go ahead. It's already getting, see, sticky already, which is a good thing. Okay, last one for me here, for the front anyway. I do a little bit of this one more because it needed the most cleaning, and I use Goo Gone, so I want to make sure it's really oil free. There you go. Anything in this way, usually alcohol can rub it off. Any kind of gunk or pre. Yeah, I want to get a really clean surface for the new adhesive to stick on. Even we don't use, you know, I mean 94 primer, I don't have any more left, but even we don't use it, we want to get a good clean alcohol, clean surface. And alcohol really dries up really quickly, so it's not going to stay moist. But if you want to wait for a few minutes before you apply your adhesive, that's probably fine too. But it usually dries pretty instantly. I think all that guff is still gone now. it isn't, give it a good harder rub. Should come off by now. This stuff right here. Yep. Done with the front door sill. I want to take my time and put my full focus on it to make sure it's actually rubbing on the side edges really snug right here. The reason why it wouldn't matter, because when it presses and it's down here already, it doesn't matter if it squishes like this and this protrudes out a little bit. You want to actually probably be better. But what I did was I want to grip some of that PPF a little bit on the edge, but I doubt that I have. If you look at it, it doesn't really start until a little bit lower after the PPF. You can see that right there. So it's not going to be a lot all right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and finish this up. We got about 80% already done. And what I did was I lowered it a little bit. You can see here some of that stuff. You can almost see the little bit of the glue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and just give it a good press. And it actually gives enough slack. There's probably at least maybe 2 or 3 inches remaining. You can see here in the other tail end there I did. What I did was instead of reaching all the way above here, which you can't see the crease mark, just go and lower a little bit. I just push this button here. I'm gonna kill my motor a little bit here. Look at that. And then I just let it rest on the bottle. Okay, so that way it gives me a little bit more easier view from a horizontal. You can see there. Let me get the, oh, my resolution is not coming in too good today. Okay, there we go. So I can see here from the top. There we go. You can see there. Fully functional, very smooth. It's black on black, so you can't really see it. But yeah, we're almost done here. So what I'm doing is I'm peeling it. I'm starting like maybe a feet by a feet. It's kind of peeling it off like this. And then just what I'm doing is patting it down, kind of feeling the groove like this, along the groove. I want to bring it to the edge as possible, but I'm also wanting the groove. So. See that? Just putting it right on the edge. Just right on the edge. So it's probably easier for me to do it both hands. See it too. Okay, so like a surgical cut here. You just want to cut it. Such an angle where I don't feel like I have leverage. Not sure if I can just go this way. Might be able to. There we go. Oh, sorry, blocked you guys the whole time. There we go. I'm cutting the last bit here. There we go. Create more of a triangle cut, but that's okay. That worked out. All right, so there we go. We got this here. Now I don't want to use anything sharp because I need to actually fix that little bit area there. Let me see if I can take my little wedge tool here and wedge the PPF smoothly back in. Looks like this one's coming out. Just a little bit there. I can use this right here to just actually bring it up a little bit and press on it. I'm not sure which item that I ordered that gave me this tool, but this is great. Look. It allows me to use this as a flap. I mean, I could open eventually the hood and straighten it up myself, but it's better just to, you know, you have the tools already, might as well. Give it a good press. Kind of walk it up. Nice. All right, there we go. We got it. We got our hood installed now. And let's see how it opens up. Might be able to open up from the... So I like about it, I don't have to go inside the car. I can just reach over the wheel, push the button again. Voila. Okay, so this is the finished product here. You can see how much more aligned it is. Only because I took my time in doing this. Again, you want to go back to all the edges and just want to give your finger a curvature around it. You can see here none of the tapes are exposed. especially I have PPF, so I have to really lay it on the edge. Preferably I wish it had adhesive all the way through and through, but that's okay. This little rubber here will protect the PPF. I guess it's gonna touch the PPF, but it's not gonna rub on it. Eventually where it's gonna try to rub and peel off, it looks like it's gonna rub and hold. So when it hits it like this, it's gonna rub and hold because the PPF is actually underneath it and not, you know, against it. So that's good that they left a little PPF for me. Very cool. There we go. Oh, it's beautiful. See here, a little bit gap. That's where the PPF is falling under. But other than that, look at that, how beautiful that is. It's just, if you see it from the top, you can see how perfectly flush it is. I mean, flush as the eye can see anyway. I'm sure it's not flush if you took it under microscope, but it's pretty nice. See along the line? It's like I'm right there riding on the edge. You can see there? That. This might come over a little bit, but it's not going to be able to really tell from the naked eye. Because if you look at this way, you still can't see it, right? Just a nice smooth edge. Yeah, this one did a way better job than the first time I attempted. So you guys can actually see. Just lower your hood a little bit, give yourself some, and then just kind of use your thumb here as a guide. And while you're laying it, stretch it. Not stretch this way, don't pull again. Just kind of let it, you know, line. There's no stretching, okay? Let's just cross that word out. No stretching whatsoever. Just lay it on there. And then, I guess this is how much slack you have left. There we go. There you go. This is how much slack you have left. Almost good, like 4 inches. Maybe 4, yeah, about 4 inches. Maybe 5. So they do give you plenty of slack to go from all the way to the very edge. To the very edge. See here, we took that tape off. So no more of that tape. No more of this train tape either. Because if I'm not mistaken, this adhesive here, like I said again, it's supposed to do its job. It's supposed to help grip some of that PPF. If it did caught on it, or if not, then the PPF's underneath it. It's going to prevent it from just, you know, flapping. Because, you know, PPF want to tend to go back to straight. It's not a really three-dimensional product, but we make it curve and so forth. So paint protection film, that's what PPF stands for. It's made to just pretty much, that's why a lot of these mirrors are very hard to do, for the fact that they peel off easily, because they want to actually go back to where their relaxing state is. But if you have a good installer and he preps it right, it shouldn't peel off that easily at all. So this is just a little minor. It's only because I had my seal on there. If I didn't have my seal on there, it would have been way better too. So yeah, put the seal on after you do PPF. If you're planning to, if not, then be prepared to take it off for your PPF installer. They could do a way better job, and these things aren't that expensive. Your PPF is. So I'd rather just rip this off, clean it nicely, have it prepped ready for them. So they can just put a little bit more excessive PPF coming in. That way when you lay this on there, it'll be way more better than, you know, where I'm at here, just the edge alone. But I think this will hold just nicely. I really like it. It didn't peel off before, so I don't think it's going to peel off anytime soon either. But unless like water gets trapped into it, but I think water will roll. So we'll see. Give it a good press. Now, once you close it, of course it's going to press. Let's see how it seals, shall we? I'm looking at it. Okay, see, it's not really sealing. It's not like creating enough wedge where it's totally like from here as well. But I'd rather put it on the hood so it comes with the hood versus not on the hood, you know what I mean? So this one's good. We clean this one. See, I was able to get a little bit of PPF. The adhesive attached a little bit of that PPF to this little PPF corner here where they wrap it. And that way it helps support the PPF from not lifting as well. So kind of a dual purpose to, you know, insulate the car wind noise from going in, the dust and the breeze, but also protect the film from not lifting. So for my case anyway, if you don't have PPF, then the only concern you have for this functionality to do is just pretty much keep the dust from going into your hood. So I think it will do that job. So I don't see why it wouldn't. So yeah, everything's going good. See that? That barely made to this guy right here. So it blocks off. Then the hood, the rain of course is going to drizzle down here and it's going to come off So yeah, what? We got the frunk, we got the trunk done. Now it's time to go and get the door seals done. That's going to take a little bit of time too as well. Even though these things are clean, I'm going to go over it again with some ibuprofen alcohol before I start, just to make sure that there's no oil or fingerprints or anything that help, you know, the adhesive from not sticking. So we want to make sure we get the full heat, and you're going to see that the door is going to close much more smoother than it is now. Like for instance, let's do this one. See that? You hear that clunk noise? And this is actually has a little bit of cushion too, by the way. I'm debating on whether taking this off, because this one looked like it did a great job already. So I'm debating on this one or taking this off. I might just go and do the rest without taking it off. See that the PPF lining is already on there. So we'll see. We'll see. But it's going to sound a little bit better than this one. I mean, this sounds pretty okay. But let's check this one out. This one right here. Again, it's gonna lift only because it got caught in some of this little rubber area there. Other than that, man, this thing sticks really nicely well. Again, we weren't even gonna be able to salvage this, but it turned out pretty good. So, see that? You hear that noise? One more time. See that? Didn't get caught really easily, only because it's forced. I'll probably put a little clear tape here just to help train it a little bit, so it won't get caught in this a little bit before it flexes down. There we go. Yeah, so it's going to sound a little bit more quiet than what it is now.